And as people were coming in, you know, I was asking them, you know, do you deal with stress? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, I'm so stressed. This was at a fitness center, right? And this one lady came in and she's like, no, not at all. And I was like, okay. I said, so what are you doing? And she said, I just retired 2 months ago.
Aww.
No stress. I'll never have stress again. I was like, you go. So that was really cool. But most people do experience stress in their life at some point or another. And so Adaptive is an essential oil blend, which we're not really going to be focusing on essential oil blends today. We're going to be talking about metabolism, blood sugar, brain fog, energy slumps, things like that. But being that I just had this whole fight or flight thing going on with the IT here, I am going to use a drop of Adaptive myself. So if anybody else experiences stress, I will share a drop of Adaptive, and in fact, I'll have Courtney do that. So yeah, I'm going to take a drop. Okay, so 1 drop is really all you need. If you're putting it in a diffuser you would use 4, you rub your hands together and you're going to breathe in slowly and breathe out. Now another trick is to breathe in for 4, breathe out for 8, okay? So you can't go fast when you're breathing that slow. It really brings you down to a focus, okay? So essential oils, what they do when we breathe them in, they go through our nasal passage to our brain, to the olfactory glands, to trigger the mood response of whatever the oils that we're using are for. So for calming, for invigorating, for mood elevation, for consoling, different oils have different effects on the brain in a positive way. These plants have been with us since the beginning of time. And so these have been used for their medicinal aspects since the beginning of time. And oils are mentioned in the ancient scriptures and all the way through. And so it's only in more recent times when the pharmaceutical industry became very strong and very, very big that oils and herbs and natural things have been pushed aside. And so that the more modern things were being what people were using. And so this is really very new. When people say, traditional medicine, and they mean modern medicine. Modern medicine is what's been taking place in the past 100 years. Traditional medicine is what was before then, and using the plants that are here on the planet to benefit our body. So, at any rate, so I will start. My name is Pat Jacoby, and I am a master herbalist. I work with people regarding their own individual health, so for individual consultations, for classes, for groups such as here, or other groups. I've even done high schoolers. I've occasionally done small classes for children, and on essential oils, on herbs, on healthy eating, on health classes. I've done health classes for homeschool groups. So that is a little bit about what I do. I dove into natural health because of needs within my own family. And I grew up on the SAD diet. Is anybody familiar with the SAD diet? The Standard American Diet, right? It's the SAD diet. And it is really making the health of our country very, very sad, very depleted, okay? And so the majority of health concerns that people have today really stem from a lack of nutrients or toxins in the system. And there have been many studies done. They're not widely publicized because they're not by big conglomerations that have huge dollars to publicize. But there have been many small studies done showing that people can turn their health completely around, including mental health issues, by diet and supplementation, okay? And for a lot of people, that can be a solution. So I'm going to start talking about what we're talking about today. So, health and vitality at any age. What we want to do is we want to enjoy every day of our life, right? We don't look forward to, we don't say, I want to live to be 90, but just sit in the chair from 80 to 90. We want to enjoy all of it, right? So, we want to be able to enjoy our achieving our own goals and loving those around us. And you know, if we have a small circle, we want to be able to still like give at church, you know, by being there and handing out the bulletin and directing the new person and just being a part of community is so vital. And so we're going to be talking about our body and how we can have our body be its best so that we can do our best and enjoy our most. So goals. Does your metabolism control you, or do you control your metabolism? So, so are you governed by what your body is imposing on you, and why do I feel this way? Why is my body doing this? Usually those things are actually something we've done ourselves, and we just might not realize what it is that we're doing to trigger those negative aspects, okay? Why we need a metabolic awakening, the relationship between health span and biological aging and lifespan. And we're going to talk about tools that we can use. And some of the tools will be things that we can talk about in a one-on-one later that would be appropriate for you or for you and your family. So there is a clipboard that is right here, and I'll pass that around. And anybody who would like a free consultation this afternoon or tomorrow is welcome to put a little check mark on the side. Please put your name, your phone number clearly, and especially if you want to consult or if you want to have emails with more information. I don't send tons of emails. I won't be loading your inbox up. I don't have time. It would be nice, but I don't have time. So, but you will get occasional informational emails on how to help your health, or to links to videos that will give you more information on how to work on your health. So, what's preventing you from living your best life? Is it lack of energy? Is it your weight? Is it your mood? Do you just feel like you're in a slump? Do you have cravings that you just can't get over? 10 p.m. and you just like can't stay away from the refrigerator. There's got to be something sweet in there, and you know that you're trying to cut back, right? So sleep. Are you waking up during the night or not getting productive sleep, or you just can't get to sleep? Mental clarity and stress. Are you having trouble dealing with stress? So wellness starts at a cellular level. Now, I like these here, how they have this laid out. This slide was, I didn't make this particular slide, but I like it, and I like that this is your foundation. No matter what you do, you might think it's medication. It's not medication. Okay? Nobody is walking around with an ibuprofen deficiency, for example. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like it does not happen. Okay? So nutrition is what is our foundation. And being able to digest properly those nutrients. If you've ever been on medication in your life, I'm going to ask a personal question you don't have to answer, but has anybody never had a prescription here? A prescription, or including antibiotics? Has anybody here never had either one of those? Okay, so prescriptions, over-the-counter products, antibiotics, all affect your ability to digest nutrients. So there are ways that we can help our body to repair, and so we can discuss that. But this is your foundation. And then proactive medical care. That's the where you go for your blood work once a year or something, you know, you check in. But I don't always see these as being quite in the order, you know. These can be kind of moved around a little, like reduced toxicity, I think should be here. When we eat artificial flavors, preservatives, artificial colors, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, we're taking in poisons into our body on a regular basis, okay? And so not doing that is truly vital, So if I pour in a cup here, and I pour some, and I say, you know, this is purified water, you know, this is really, really, I'm just gonna put a little bit of arsenic, very little bit it. Really, it's not much at all. Are you thirsty? Would you, no? But it's really little. No, you see, and so, but therefore, and then when we go to the store, right, when people go to the store, you go shopping, you look at those ingredients on there, and you see words that you can't say and you don't know what they are. Well, do you remember when you were a little toddler, or maybe you've said to little toddlers yourself regarding something that they had in their hand, and you're like, oh my gosh, where did they get that? What is it? And you're like, don't put that in your mouth. You don't know what it is, right? Right. I think we've all said that or heard someone say that, right? Well, when we go to the grocery store and we see things that we don't know what they are, we shouldn't put them in our mouth either. Same thing, you know? So basic, simple. So reduce toxicity, movement and metabolism. Movement, move. So even if it means very simple, you're in your chair and doing chair exercises, but whatever it is, movement, circulation is vital. Stress and rest, getting proper sleep is more vital than I would ever like to admit, and I could go on about that one a long time. I am one that likes to go to bed really late and wake up super early, and it is not a good thing, and there are many different ways that we disrupt our body by doing that, and we age ourselves more quickly, honestly. And so that is very important if you're having trouble in this area. I know, isn't that scary? We age ourselves more quickly, right? So yeah, when I first was like, you know, so I do work on that. But you know, how water seeks its level, I don't have a problem. So, but these are the foundations here. These are the pillars that we need to be aware of in our life on a regular basis. If anybody wants to take screenshots of some of my slides, you can do that if you want. Okay, so metabolic health is the ability of the body to break down food, okay, so we can fuel our needed processes, all right? And the pillars of metabolic health are healthy eating, daily movement, healthy connections, healthy relationships are important. If we have unhealthy relationships, we need to work on mending them, or we need to learn how to put up boundaries, or we might need to sever. But healthy relationships can really give ourselves so much, but they can drain so much if they're not healthy. So that's something to actually consider, and it is a part of health, okay? Stress management and smart supplementation. There are many supplements on the market. If you need to know what supplements would be good, there are some I recommend. There are others that are good out there, but there's many more that are basically synthetic versions of what our body wants, and they are counterproductive to our health, okay? So, how is your metabolic health? 6.8% of the adult U.S. population has healthy metabolic health, which means the rest do not. So where do we fall in that? Something we truly need to take a look at. Our metabolic health affects everything. There is no part of our bodies, our minds, that is not affected by this. So metabolic health and biological age are inseparable. Our metabolism and our age, if your metabolic health is not good, you are not going to age well. It just can't happen. Lifespan and health span. Okay. So, modern science has said, yay, people are living longer. And they're living longer. Look at this. They used to live this long, and now they're living this long. Yay! Do you know what this means? This is their ability to take care of themselves and enjoy life. This is about 8 years here, okay? So, and when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, I took care of my mother for 8 years. She was not able to take care of herself before she passed at 96, okay? and like Anna, Carol, and Courtney remember, and so 8 years is actually what the number was, and I was like, how about that? We hit it dead on the nose. But so if you live 8 years longer, but you can't dress yourself, take yourself to the bathroom, make yourself a cup of tea. I remember I was trying to get her help in the home, and the woman said, well, it's hard to get help in the home. Most people think they qualify and they don't. And I said, well, what are some criteria? And she said, well, is she able to cook for herself? I said, no. I said, she can't make herself a cup of tea. She said, well, can she take herself to the bathroom? I said, well, if I walk with her. And she said, you know, well, can she do her own laundry? And I was like, absolutely not. You know, so like, she can't match 2 socks together. So when we take care of our metabolic health, we not only extend our life, but we extend our quality of life, which is what we truly, truly want. We want to enjoy all of our life. So, we begin this aging process at age 25. Is that, a rude awakening? There, isn't it? So our NAD drops steadily at that point, okay? And so our metabolic function begins its decline. Now, are we going to have a decline, or are we going to have a decline? That's up to us and what we do, okay? Are we going to take the skateboard down the hill, or one of my sons was a skateboard. Metabolic health obstacles, maturing fat cells, blood sugar spikes. This is huge. Blood sugar spikes have to do with so much. When we have a blood sugar spike, it ages us. So that's when our blood sugar goes way up and way down, okay? It ages us, it causes an energy crash, but when we go down like that, we also then want to eat something else that we're probably not supposed to. And now we're kind of in that, oh, I just want something fast now, you know? And so when you think of something fast, I'm sure you're probably like me, and you think, you know what, that cauliflower is in the fridge. Let me go get that cauliflower. Is that it? Yeah? Okay. It takes a lot of turning yourself around. I actually had cauliflower for breakfast this morning, and I'm not saying that you need to do that, because you don't, and there's a lot of other things you can do, but I did. And you can, but vegetables for breakfast actually can be fun and healthy when you get used to it. It's another food at another time of the day. Like, what's the difference, right? But those blood sugar spikes do so much to our systems that we don't want. Cellular integrity, the health of our cells, okay? So we have different essential oils that help our cells to replicate in a healthy way, because sometimes cells don't replicate in a healthy way, and we have a myriad of problems, right? So our cellular integrity. And we have to be aware of inferior nutrition and supplementation, and we talked about that already, right? So this is MetaPower system. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to also talk about some other tips that you can just even start today. So maturing fat cells. Fat cells are where the body stores glucose, and due to the body sending insulin to deal with sugars and carbohydrates, insulin helps the body store glucose. So when you eat sugar, your body says, oh, my goodness, we might need this later. So let's go get it, and let's put it in the fat cells just in case, okay? But when was your last famine? Mine neither. Okay, so, I mean, we all have ups and downs, but really, when was I've never had a famine in my life, right? So, maturing fat cells. So this is what we're talking about here. We all have a certain number of fat cells. And once we have those fat cells, we have those fat cells. And we're going to have those fat cells. But when they're little tiny like this, that's no big deal. But when we give them glucose, they go like this. And so, when we lose weight, they go back like this. This is where I want mine to be. So, right? So how can we help our body not to take that insulin and store it and grow those fat cells? How can we do that? So now the MetaPower, these are all MetaPower. MetaPower is an essential oil blend here, and it has grapefruit and mint and several other oils in it. And it is really delicious. So what I do is I take this oil and I put 2 drops in my water. I do that 3 or 4 times a day. I have lost 16 pounds over the past couple of months now I had all these things. So I was going to do this at the same time, and I was going to change my sleep habits, and I was going to not, have these snacks and this and that and the other. The only thing I did was the MetaPower, honestly. I mean, I do tend to eat healthy and have for years anyway, but I am a midnight snacker. I burn the candle at both ends, and I'm far from perfect. So it helps to inhibit fat cell maturation. So it inhibits the fat cells from getting bigger. It stops the cravings, and it's very satisfying the taste, but the blend itself helps with fat cell maturation and keeping that low. And it supports overall metabolic health. It also helps to have your glucose not spike, but more of a curve, okay? So it helps with the aging process. So now, here is a tip that you can take with you today, okay? Exercise. Actually, Anna, would you read this for me?
Exercise after a meal helps level out the glucose spike. Glucose goes to the muscles and is used by the muscles instead of the body needing to use glucose to produce insulin.
Okay, so taking a walk, simply a walk, is enough exercise after a meal. What happens is when you have that glucose spike, okay, when you walk, instead of the insulin going into the fat cells, what happens is it goes to fuel the muscles that you're using right away. And so you use that glucose now instead of storing it, okay? So let's all exercise right now. Okay. If you can't go out, let's say maybe you're at work or something and you just can't say, hey team, I'm gonna go take a walk now, bye everybody, see you later. You can't do that. So instead, if we'd all like to do some exercise now that we could do without going anywhere, okay? So our calves are the best thing for burning that glucose after a meal. So we're going to lift up on our tippy toes and down. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And so do that a number of times. When it starts to feel like a little bit of stress, then you can stop for a couple seconds and do it again. And do that for a few minutes, and even that will make a difference, okay? So very simple exercise. And you didn't even have to ride to the gym. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Some other things that you can do starting right away regarding your glucose spikes and your metabolism of the weight. So simple lifestyle changes that you can start incorporating. So eat foods in order. When you eat your veggies first, okay, I didn't say fruits, fruits are good. I'm not gonna put fruits down. Some people are, fruits are high in sugar and they're not good. They're good in their place, but start with vegetables first. So when you go to sit down for lunch or dinner here, you have that nice salad bar, go get something from the salad bar. Because that fiber lines the way and prevents the sugar, the glucose from being put into the bloodstream as rapidly, okay? So it slows that process and slows the blood sugar spike dramatically. So eat your veggies first. Raw veggies are great. They're easy to have little baggies. Make a couple up every couple days and line them up in there, and you have your celery, your carrot sticks, your whatever you want to put in there, and have them ready for go on the go. Veggies first, or have your salad first, however you want to do that. It could be cooked veggies, so if you get a plate and it has, your vegetables, it has a starch, it has some protein on there, whatever, and just eat the vegetables first. So, veggies first, okay? Next, have your protein and your fats. Next, have your carbs and your starches. So when that basket of bread comes at the beginning of the meal and you're so hungry and you're like, oh, thank goodness the rolls are here, right? And you reach out, your blood sugar, because it's on an empty stomach, is gonna go boom. But if you ate the veggies first and then you had the roll, now you're gonna really curb that instead of having that spike, okay? And then last, have your sweets. When you wait, now our family always had this when my kids were growing up, before bed, which would be like, 3 or 4 hours after dinner, they would have a snack. Sometimes it would be a very healthy snack, and sometimes it would be a not healthy snack, a cupcake or whatever, So at that point, they had nothing in their stomach, and now they're eating this, and now they're boom with their blood sugar, and then down, okay? That's not what we want to happen. But when you have dessert, first of all, you'll tend to have a little less of it than if you just have it on an empty stomach. It'll be a satisfying end, and I'm not saying you should all go and start eating dessert. If you're not dessert eaters and you're content with that, that's the best way to go, okay? Sugar is not necessary for our body in any way. There's natural sugars that are actually in vegetables and in fruits that are good. So don't feel that you need to start eating dessert. But if you're going to have a dessert, have it right after your meal, okay? It will do less harm to your body that way, and your body will be able to deal with it better. So skip breads or pastries for breakfast. You just did a fast, okay? You just did a fast, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, and now you're gonna slam it with a donut or even toast, okay? So if you're going to have toast, you can mellow that out by, instead of having some butter on there, because we don't have much butter when we have butter on there, you're right? Slather some almond butter on there. Better yet, start with a vegetable omelet, okay? Get your veggies and your protein in there. If I go to a diner to meet a friend, I will ask for lettuce. I'll say, give me just some lettuce and 2 eggs and some potatoes. And so first I'll eat the lettuce, and then I'll eat the eggs, and then I'll eat the potatoes. And it's very satisfying. And the lettuce, great, if you're having that in the morning, what's great is a little salt and pepper and a squeeze of lemon. And so that tastes really, really refreshing. So fast for 12 hours a day. Talk about intermittent fasting, we're not gonna talk about that today. But we could talk about that for a long time. Instead, consider just doing a little fast, which would mean not eating between 8 at night and 8 in the morning, or 7 at night and 7 in the morning. Something very simple like that. In that way, we're giving our digestive system a rest, a break, okay? Instead of having a little something right before going to sleep, and then waking up and then having that, whatever, even if it's something good, but we're not giving much of a break in between. So think about doing a 12-hour fast a couple times a week, and then you might do it more. So I am not a proponent of all year long doing like a 20-hour fast, and some people do that, and there's reasons why that is something that I would not advocate. So extreme intermittent fasting I don't advocate, but there are different components of many different healthful modalities that can be utilized together in very positive ways. So, and then we talked about exercise. And we talked about many of these: maturing fat cells, blood sugar spikes, cravings, low energy. So what causes cardiovascular issues within a diet? What do you think? What within a diet do you think causes cardiovascular issues?
Sugar. Cholesterol rise fast.
Sugar is the number one. Sugar's the number one, yes. Yeah. And yes, of course, trans fats are very bad. But we need fats for our brain to function and our body to function. We must have fats. Low fat, having not enough fat in the diet actually can be a contributor to dementia. So when we spike our glucose, what this picture is about is like, do you ever teach a teenager to drive? Anybody ever done that? Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still traumatized, right? Yeah. So, and the first thing, especially if they're a boy, but even if they were a girl, because I remember doing it, they'll go, vroom, 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 because that just sounds like so cool, right? Well, when we take a donut and eat that on a fast, after a fast, like after being asleep all night, that's what we're doing to our body. Vroom. And we wouldn't want anybody to do it to our car, so we should do it to our body, right? Yeah. All right, so MetaPower Assist. MetaPower Assist is something that you didn't see in the other picture. MetaPower Assist is a capsule that you take before a meal that helps your body to metabolize the glucose. And so it takes that spike, and turns it into a curve. So the MetaPower Assist reduces the absorption of simple carbohydrates, supports healthy blood sugar response within the body. It stabilizes the levels throughout the day and decreases the post-meal spikes that would occur. Okay, so very beneficial in that process. There we go. The MetaPower Advantage. So I actually have one of those around here somewhere. These taste really good. You put this in like 4 to 8 ounces of water. You either shake it up, stir it up, whatever you like to do. They have like a little bit of an orange flavor to them. They're really good. They have collagen, 9 different types of collagen. There's none other on the market that has 9 different types of collagen. Most of them have 2 or 3 types of collagen. So some of the collagen that is in this are collagens that do different things for skin, for joints, for hair, nails. But there's other collagen that is in there that actually helps the collagen that's in there to do its job and to help our body to be able to utilize the collagen. This collagen is more absorbable and has a greater degree of being able to be utilized by the body than other types of collagen. This is sourced from fish, not from bovine. It improves cognitive health, supports lean muscle tissue, joints, improves skin elasticity, and slows biological aging by supporting the body in those ways. There's a lot of misinformation about collagen, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but one thing is that by taking collagen and putting it on our face is like saying that just pick a food that's healthy, pick a healthy food, and I'm going to take the cauliflower and rub it on my face, and that's going to nourish my body, and it's not. Okay, so collagen needs to be taken internally, all right? So this is just what I went over. It's 12 times more bioavailable, and there are 9 different types of collagen within. It's a marine collagen. These are the different types of collagen that are in there, affecting skin, stabilizing the structure of the other collagens, muscle function, brain aging. Okay, so these are the different components that are in this collagen. So it's not just collagen by itself, okay? So we have we have antioxidants in there. We have NMN, which supports the body's NAD, which the NAD is what we talked about before, that starts to decrease at age 25, and that is why biological aging starts to increase at age 25. So there's biotin, which is also for skin, hair, and nails in there. And so this is the full set here. So we have our assist that we take with a meal, and if your meal happens to be this lovely salad with vinegar, oil, and herbs and spices,
and with maybe chicken on top, or maybe you grilled some tuna on top, or something like that. And if that's what your lunch is, or that's what your big meal of the day is, then I would say to take the assist in the meal that you had some carbs or some sugars or fruits or something more that's going to cause more of a spike than the vegetables and the protein, even if the vegetable protein meal was the biggest of the day. So it's really for your carb heavy meal. And this is the same as the essential oil that I mentioned. And if anybody wants to smell that, they can come up afterwards and smell the MetaPower essential oil that goes in the water. And then this is the soft gels, which has that same oil in it. I take one of those in the morning when I start my day with my LLV supplements. And so then I use the MetaPower essential oil in my water throughout the day. And the beadlets I carry with me. If I'm out somewhere, you're out somewhere, you drink all the water that's with you, and then you're out for a while doing the errands that took twice as long as you thought they were going to take, and now you start to feel hungry, and now you start thinking about eating something really stupid, and you start looking around in the car for a granola bar, and not that I've ever had this happen, but So the MetaPower beadlets have 1/4 of a drop of the MetaPower oil in them, and you just take a beadlet and you just crack it between your teeth, and you have this nice burst of flavor, grapefruit, mint. It's just absolutely wonderful, and that helps with cravings, and it just really puts off the cravings and helps with that, and helps me to be able to keep going and not try to look to eat something stupid. So this gum has the same thing. So if somebody is a gum chewer, they enjoy chewing gum, it has the MetaPower in it. And then this is the advantage that we just spoke about with the collagen and the other constituents within. So somebody would start off with the MetaPower in their day, and then they would use their assist with the biggest meal or the most carb heavy, depending on. And there is MetaPower in the oil in the collagen, so it tastes really yummy that way. And so there's collagens out there. If you get a high quality collagen, it can cost a lot of money. Okay, so it's much more cost effective in this way than it is in looking at those. The entire set is right here, and but it can be done by components if somebody wants to do that. And so we always want to have greens. They could be fresh greens, they could be steamed or raw greens, but this is another thing that you can utilize by putting that in smoothies or whatnot like that if you like. If anybody has any questions about what I sometimes teach about is basic essential oils for health and wellness in the family. Last year I talked about emergencies big and small, and how to use a variety of different things, herbs, how to store foods, how to use essential oils in case of emergencies, being that our country has had so many emergencies, fires, floods, so on and so forth. For the past 22 years, we've had quite a few emergencies. So how to prepare, and be ready for the little emergencies that come up on a daily basis too, like somebody is sick to their stomach, or they have a stomach virus or something like that. How to support the body in a simple, easy way. So if anybody has questions about that too, I'd be happy to talk to them about that also. So. I'll just leave that one up. Okay, so everything's a little bit. So does anybody have any questions about what I spoke about today? Okay, too many questions. Okay, so I have really enjoyed spending time with you today. There is a clipboard that is going around, so please, if you haven't filled out your name, your email address, your phone number, and put a check mark or an X somewhere on there, or a note underneath if you would like a consultation today or tomorrow. That would be a free consultation. We sit down and just talk about whatever, if other health issues you can ask me to, but
anything that we talked about in this, that applies to you or your family?
I do have one question. I know you were saying how bad sugar is. What about if you substitute monk fruit in place of sugar? What do you think about that?
You're still gonna have some spike, but, it's a better alternative. It's a better alternative. One of the things with using the alternative sugars that happens is that people become kind of dependent on them, and their taste buds, they're usually overly sweet. The monk fruit, the erythritol, the stevia, they're very sweet. And so let's see, that throws the body off in and of itself, and has the person craving these really intensely sweet flavors. So let's see, a friend of mine, her husband is taking Truvia and using 2 round teaspoons of Truvia per cup of coffee, and drinks several cups of coffee per day. And I'm like, ew. I don't know how he does it. Like, I really don't. But he does. And he doesn't want to give it up now. And so she's telling him all about it all the time. So be careful. Be careful. To make a little substitution here or there, a little, but do be aware that it can become a problem. But yeah, a little bit of substitution here and there is fine, yeah. And it is a better choice, yeah.
And one more question, like since carbohydrates are turned to sugar, correct? Is it good to have like gluten-free bread?
No.
No?
That's a really, okay, so if you have a problem with gluten, or if you have a problem with the wheat that's in this country, okay, it's not genetically modified, it's a hybrid. And when they did that hybrid, they did it so it would grow more quickly, so they could do 2 crops per growing season instead of 1, because it only grows half as high, and so they can get the wheat berries, and which is what the wheat is, it's wheat berries ground. And so when they did that, they caused a problem. When it came together, the new wheat causes digestive issues in many people. And wheat used to be, like in the Bible, the staff of life, right? It was something that was good. Bread was something that was good. So our bread now is not what it originally was. In Europe, they're not using this kind of bread. And I actually tried something that had wheat in it from Europe last week, and I was fine. I was absolutely fine. I was ready to not be fine, but I thought, I think I'm gonna be fine, because I'd heard that some other people were fine, and I was absolutely fine.
And
So,
that was bread you bought here now?
No, it was from Russia. Yeah, so somebody gave me a gift of a dessert that was from Russia. So, but when it comes to gluten-free, gluten-free tends to be a base of rice flour, tapioca flour, and it metabolizes very quickly. Think of white rice; it metabolizes very quickly in the system. So it is not friendly to people who are watching their blood sugar for whatever reason, whether it be diabetic, pre-diabetic, or whether it be we want to age gracefully and slower metabolism. For whatever reason, gluten-free bread is not our friend. It is not our friend. So a grain that is a healthy grain for us would be quinoa. So serve your different things over a bed of quinoa. A quinoa salad, if you take quinoa, and if you're like, you know what, I want something on the go, I don't want to have a hot meal, I'm taking it with me, and I'm trying to be good at the picnic I'm going to, or whatever the thing is, or take it to work or something. Make a quinoa salad. A quinoa salad can be really, really super cool. Make yourself a homemade vinaigrette, apple cider vinegar, and some herbs and spices, and like maybe Italian seasoning type blend, something like that. Garlic in there, absolutely, and olive oil, and throw that together. Cook your quinoa, and then chop up onion and garlic and cucumber and tomatoes and all types of garden vegetables. Chop them all up and throw them in with that quinoa and put it in the salad tossed with that vinaigrette dressing, and let the dressing kind of get in there and meld with it. And you can put that little containers and take that with you on the go. It is so yummy, it is so yummy. So, in fact, I made that for a teen retreat, and I wasn't sure how the teenagers were gonna go for it. They gobbled it up, they gobbled it up. I had that along like other things that they could choose from, but there was none left. And so I was kind of impressed, because I wasn't sure, you know, if like a whole group of teens were gonna be like, couldn't we just have Doritos, you know? So, but they did, they liked that, so give that a shot, yeah, you can play with it.
What's your best source of buying quinoa?
I don't have an answer for you on that. Yeah, I don't have an answer for you on that. I buy, I just like, you know, I use iHerb, I use, Amazon, and I'll just pick up quinoa at Aldi, so, yeah,
You can buy a bulk in Whole Foods.
yes, you would be able to do that, that's true, yeah. So, any other questions? Okay, you look like you almost have one, no? No? Okay, well, thank you all so much for being here. There are there's paperback books that are for sale. There are essential oil books back there. They're 15 each. The hardcover ones are 20. And but there's you know, any other questions you have, give me a call. There's big business cards back there, like this, and and then if you want a small one. All right, have a good day. Enjoy your stay, and I look forward to talking with you.
Thank you.